Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. It is difficult to find a group of men, especially in the Western world, who aspire to be married and look forward to doing life with a woman. It seems only women still have that aspiration and actually dream of finding a man for themselves, hopefully for life. But even for women, that aspiration comes a little too late and is not the aim of this video. Today, I will focus on marriage as an institution in itself. Is it dated? Does it still serve a purpose? And if yes, then how can we still make marriage attractive in spite of the current legal and environmental realities? Marriage is the state of being united as spouses in a consensual and contractual relationship recognized by law. Marriage is traditionally for three main purposes: companionship, procreation, and legacy building. It is definitely not good for a man or woman to be alone, and only those who have truly been alone understand how lonely alone could get. This goes beyond sexual gratification, as sex without companionship and a connection to your partner is just recreation. Within a healthy marriage, sex is sacred, holds a higher purpose, and is one of the ways the couple rekindles their love and connection. From this connection comes procreation if the couple wants kids, and the kids are then nurtured and raised in the image of the parents and given the skills and tools needed to sustain the family legacy. Marriage is two people committing to fulfilling the three main needs already enumerated above. It is a commitment, not just a union dictated by how one is feeling at any given time. In recent times, the marriage institution has lost its sanctity and has been plagued by so much divorce. The divorce could be bitter and usually results in the man or whoever earns more losing a significant part of their resources. Child support or maintenance is typically addressed separately and follows the same principle whether or not the couple was married, so we will ignore this for now. The risk of losing resources in event of a divorce significantly impacts the decision to get married in the first place. Resources earned and accumulated represents, most importantly, time that cannot be regained. It's not so easy starting afresh, especially if that family was not wealthy to start with. While researching for this video, I noted that while many developed nations have resource allocation formulae applied during the divorce proceedings, most developing nations do not, and people live with what they came in with or what they have accumulated during the marriage. Now, which way is the right way to go? On one hand, living with only what you came in with removes the incentive for divorce, where one partner earns significantly more than the other, but encourages people to remain in abusive relationships as they cannot fend for themselves or their kids if they leave the marriage. Let's not act like this doesn't happen like a lot. Coincidentally, countries that don't split assets also do not have good child support laws. So if the woman lives with the kids, she either takes care of them alone and accepts any amount the man deems fit, or she is forced to leave the kids behind. On the other hand, splitting assets during a divorce recognizes that what one partner may lack in economic contributions, he or she may have made up for in domestic contributions. For example, bearing and nurturing kids, maintaining the home, etc. Many people turn their noses up at these contributions, but they are vital in turning a house into a home. A downside is this incentivizes divorce, especially as the bar to reclaiming these benefits seem to be lower in recent times, with some countries considering 5 years as a long marriage. So people just stay off marriage and concentrate on getting sex when they want and choosing not to have kids as a means of protecting themselves and their resources. But while they fulfill their need for recreational sex, they refrain from raising families, from surrounding themselves with people who they fight for and who will fight for them in return, who love them and who they will love. There is a limit to what your friends can do for you, a limit to the extent your kids can fulfill your need for companionship, a limit to the fulfillment you can get from partying and living with no care in the world. Having a care in the world is responsible for most of the advances mankind has made in various spheres of life, as this has inspired people over the ages to exert their strength, creativity, resourcefulness, etc. in ways that outlast them. In a healthy family, the adults and kids reinforce love for each other in their own distinct way, and none replaces the other. Not to mention the disadvantages of raising kids in single-parent homes. No one in this day and age, knowing all we know, should perpetuate having kids in single-parent homes. Despite your best intentions, you cannot be both mom and dad. Now, the laws need to be revamped, I agree. The bar for earning the right to a share of your spouse's assets needs to be raised far higher than what exists currently. That said, there are effective ways of protecting your assets via pre- and postnuptial agreements, use of trust and other financial arrangements. But despite this, people still have other arguments against marriage, and they include that modern women are not built for marriage and lack the moral foundations needed to sustain long-term relationships. Also, the government should hands off marriage, and the courts are biased in favor of women in the event of divorce. Now, my responses to these will be, we have to note that some men are also not built for marriage. There are no absolutes. It's a question of knowing the key qualities needed in a partner and searching diligently for someone who fits those criteria. Note that this may require you to place less emphasis on physical and monetary attributes and more on character traits. Also, the government has always been in marriage. Yes, the Marriage Act in your country has a start date, while marriages have existed long before then. But marriages have always been governed by the laws of the society, written or unwritten, and these laws were enforced when needed. If the laws of the country do not govern marriage, then what will? We are far past rural and community leadership. Countries have become too large, thereby necessitating marriage laws to be legislated on and applied uniformly across the country. As for court biases, like I said, some changes in laws are needed, but it should be noted that where the richer party is the female, she too shares her resources in event of a divorce. And we have seen some examples of this in recent times. So yes, I believe marriage is not dated and it still serves a purpose, unless you can show me a better option to replace marriage. Wanton sex and degenerate living all lead to a descent into real loneliness, inadequate emotional connection, selfishness, and nihilism. We need to raise our children and encourage our communities to work on being better people and to learn how to vet potential partners better to facilitate long-lasting marriages. I hope you enjoyed my video. Please do like, subscribe, and share. Until next time, cheers.